Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We are broadcasting from the San Diego Humane Society. Today, we got puppies in the studio, we got cool guests in the studio, and let's get right to it. Joining me is Mia Roseberry. She's the executive director and co-founder of Wounded Warrior Homes. How you doing, Mia?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And the reason why Mia is great, she's great anyway, but she's great times 10 because she is holding 3-week-old, 4-week-old puppy. Kristen, how old?
I don't know, but that's Suave.
Okay.
They say that it's a, what breed did they? A shepherd, but we think that it's a lab.
It looks more like a lab.
Yes.
A shepherd lab. We don't know yet. We're going to find out. And Kristen Fogel is my co-host. She has been doing this since September. Kristen is the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. And if he has time, he'll jump on the mic as well. Brandon Joe, my producer of the Spotlight Show and also the CEO and founder of Treasure Hacks. Mia, let's get right to it. Kristen has a question for you right out of the gate.
Yeah, tell us about the mission of your organization.
We provide transitional housing and reintegrative support services for recently separated veterans with military-related injuries and severe financial hardship.
And so you're a co-founder. So
I am with my husband.
That's amazing. How did you get into this line of work?
Wounded Warrior Homes actually started as a challenge.
Tell me about that.
From an entrepreneur trainer to give back to your community. So if you're an entrepreneur, and my husband has 2 businesses, that you need to give back. And we were all proud that we were giving back and we were doing all these things for the community. And he said, oh, well, for those of you who are already doing something, you have to think bigger. And so between the training in Las Vegas on May 9th, 2009, to the drive to San Diego, we came up with wanting to do something for our community and the veterans. And I spoke with the Wounded Warrior Battalion at Camp Pendleton and asked them where the greatest need was. And they said that it was among veterans with traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder. And so we're in 2009 and we're still pretty close to, what's going on overseas and all the conflicts. And so we said, well, that's what we want to do. And there were no programs that were drug and alcohol free. So we said, that's exactly what we're going to do.
Interesting. Now, are your husband's other businesses geared around veterans in any sort of way? Or, did you have another connection?
My husband he's a general contractor and home inspector.
Okay.
But I have 4 generations of Marines in my family. Grandfather, father, brother, nephew.
Amazing.
All Marines.
Okay.
Thank them for their service times 4. My
Indeed.
God, that's
Yes.
that is absolutely fantastic. On this, so Mia, and you've been on the show a bunch of times. It's always good to see you. We know this because we have a lot of interviews with our good friend Deacon Jim Vargas. Deacon Jim is the CEO of Father Joe's Villages, and we know one of the growing populations of homeless, of course, is the veterans. And it used to be at one point number 2 in the country was veterans that were homeless here in San Diego County. Are we making inroads on that?
We slowly.
Yeah.
The hard part is the availability of beds. We get calls all the time and, more times than not, we're full.
Right.
And so the hard part is, there's no bed availability anywhere. So it's not like we can say, well, we're full, but we can refer you to this other program because the bed availability is really difficult. And we have a plan to grow, but that's not going to be overnight. And, it's going to take time. And our goal is to build a campus in the North County.
Right.
And so right now we're in homes in the residential communities, and I can't afford rent or to buy another house at the prices right now.
Yeah.
So the campus plan is really an important part of, ending and preempting veteran homelessness.
So how many can you serve now? And then also, can you talk about that process, getting people into residential homes, what that, intake process is like, or how you solicit that?
Well, right now we have 13 beds.
Okay.
We have 2 mortgages in a rental house. And so there's an application process, just like anywhere else. Veterans need to go online to our website and put in an application. We also work with the community colleges, the Aspire Center, the VA, anyone in the area that we can already connect with for referrals. And then the interview goes through the program coordinator, our social worker, and goes through an interview with the veteran. We're a drug and alcohol-free program, so the veterans need to be drug and alcohol-free when they come in. They need to be willing to stay that way because we do random drug testing. And they need to have an interest and a willingness to move their life forward. You're required to either get a job, go to school, work at a certificate program, do something. And we've had a really great turnaround. We revamped our program about 1.5 years ago. And now our average is about 6 months. So while we only have 13 beds, if every 6 months we have a turnover, that's, 26 to sometimes it's even shorter. I think last year we helped 30 people, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're doing it 1 bed at a time.
Yeah.
And they don't share rooms. Every veteran has their own room. And it's in a regular home in the community. So it's not a facility. It's closer to what normal life is going to be for them.
That's great. And then where are they going off from there? Do you have other partners that kind of pick it up from there? Or
actually, they move out on their own.
Wow.
Some of them buy homes. Some of them move back home. We just had a veteran who moved back east, bought a home.
Wow.
Went back home on a visit, bought a home while he was there.
Nice.
Came back, got his stuff, packed up, drove cross country.
That's
and
great.
Moved home.
Yeah. Brandon, did you have a question? Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, so you mentioned the one of the biggest parts is bringing these people in so they can have stable housing, so they can put their life back together and encouraging them. And so in addition to that, how do you encourage some of the members to continue with these pathways? Because I know there's a lot more that comes with being a veteran than just like homelessness. But as you mentioned, like the PTSD,
Absolutely.
all of the fright, all of the like the loss, and because I know becoming homeless after serving your country cannot be anywhere of, I can't even imagine how that might feel. So that betrayal, like how do you help them through this?
Well, one of the things that we do is we have a wonderful social worker on staff, and he works with the veterans to find out what their needs are, and they set goals around that. And one of the things is mental health. We work very closely with the VA and the mental health system. And if they have a drug and alcohol history, they go to AA and NA. We work on helping them create, if you go to church, we want to be able to make sure they're doing that. Whatever recreational activities you like to do, try to getting them involved in that. So it's about the whole veteran, not just about the one thing.
Gotcha. So it's as you mentioned, it's not career, like you're involving them in the community and reconnecting them back to like a civilian life that they may not have been able to experience beforehand. It's amazing. I love it. They're people.
Yes, absolutely. And so our program is individualized around every veteran. We have our basic standards and requirements, but the veterans from the first day they come in, they literally had a piece of paper that's blank. So what's worrying you? What's keeping you up at night? And then how can we break that down in 30, 60, 90 day, 120 day, 1 year, 2 year goals? Once you see that all the things that worry you can be split out over time, they don't all have to be handled tonight and tomorrow, then it's a lot easier to attack and make a plan to, work toward those goals.
Yeah, because it's so easy to see all of these different needs as like fires that need to be put out all the time, every single day. So I can definitely understand how just splitting it off like that. And I'm just curious on so you have individualized, or you have a social worker working one-on-one with each of these individuals.
Absolutely. They meet once a week in person for an hour, and they check in daily, Monday through Friday. If they're going to be gone, they let us know. And then there's a house check every week. The case manager and the social worker go out and check the houses to make sure that they're maintaining and keeping them clean. And our environment is also a big part of how our mental health. So you can tell a lot about how someone's doing by how they keep their room.
That makes sense.
Oh, dear.
As a student, I can definitely attest to that.
Yeah,
So what has been the toughest but most beautiful story that you've had come through?
Oh gosh, there's been a lot. To be honest with you, I think the one that's most touching for me right now is a veteran who just came into our program 2 days ago, and he was in the office yesterday, and he made a point of seeking me out and wanting to thank me, and I'm going to cry. He just said, he had been in his car. He was able to get into one of the safe parking lots for sleeping, and then he reached out. He didn't say how he found us, but he reached out to us, and he was so thankful that he now has a safe place to sleep. And he's a student. He's trying to live in his car and go to school. And he has a goal and he has a plan for his life, but now he's going to be able to work toward that. The biggest thing I say to people is, I really want you to think about this. When you go home tonight, stop at your front door. And imagine what it's going to be like if suddenly, without notice, that door's gone. What do you have in your car? What do you have with you? Where are you going to sleep? Where are you going to eat? Where are you going to shower? He said he was living in his car. He was showering at the gym and he was going to school. That's not the best student. He's not his best self. He said, I slept with one eye open. I never got a good night's sleep. He said last night was the best night's sleep he'd had in a long time. And that brought tears to my eyes. And that's why we're here. If I can give you a safe place where you can start focusing on the things other than, can I close my eyes to go to sleep? We really give them the opportunity to be their best self.
That's
and
beautiful.
They do the work. We're there to support them, but they also ultimately do all the work themselves.
Yeah, you're empowering people to be their best selves, and that's a beautiful gift.
It's important.
Yeah. You said in that case you didn't know how that individual found you, but what are you finding? How are people finding you?
Referrals from other veterans, the VA system, the community colleges. When thinking back, he probably found us through the vet center at his college.
Okay.
Because they know about us. We make a point of letting everybody know in their community that we're here. And it's a simple online application.
We come back from break. Mia, certainly able to hear more of these stories. And, as you well know, that we're pretty connected to groups like the San Diego Military Advisory Council, and we can't do enough to support the folks that are in uniform now, and the ones, certainly the veterans. We're the largest military port in the country, of course, with our Marines and the Navy and Coast Guard, and a huge veteran population as well. And almost to Brandon's point, and Brandon is a young guy, is so insightful for 75 different reasons, but just imagine you've now defended your country, abroad or on your own soil, and now you're living in your car. We need to find a better way to do this and support organizations like yours. We're going to be right back with Mia Roseberry, Executive Director and co-founder of Wounded Warrior Homes. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You'll listen to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are in the nation's longest-running community podcast. Now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. For 6 decades, we've been doing great things in San Diego County. We're broadcasting from the San Diego Humane Society on Gain Street, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc., and my producer of the Spotlight Show, Brandon Joe, also the CEO and founder of Treasure Hacks. We will be right back. We are now right back. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We are broadcasting from the San Diego Humane Society headquarters here in Gain Street, chatting with Mia Roseberry, Executive Director and co-founder of Wounded Warrior Homes, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She is the Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary this year in Liberty Station. And also joined by the producer of the Spotlight Show, Brandon. Joe, Kristen, what other questions do you have for Mia?
I just have a comment real quick. Is this dog asleep here on the table?
She's asleep.
She's so
The
cute.
dog's are sleeping, and soon I will be.
Yeah,
So-
this is Cafe Con Leche. We didn't shout out this dog, but this dog is adorable.
The dog is going to be featured on the pictures. We've got that dog there, and which is the one that Mia's holding? What's the name of that dog?
That's Suave.
Suave Mia's got, and just for just a nominal fee, you can bring this home, and now you'll have 3 dogs at home.
I was going to say that's my question for Mia is, are you bringing this dog home?
No, I'm actually leaving tonight for a few days, so it wouldn't be fair to the
Oh,
That's right. Kristen will take care of the dog
oh
until
my
you
gosh.
come back.
You always give me so much work to do
don't know,
every
there's-
time.
Yeah, but that's not work.
That's true. That's true. That's
I've already
fun.
sent pictures to my daughter. Unfortunately, she doesn't live locally. I think it would be at her house. But I'm afraid to send them to my husband because then we might end up with
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. No, I don't.
We have 2 black labs at home as it is. So
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
What's
dear.
another one?
What's one more?
Yeah, we just kind of figured
Little
that. We just kind of figured that with 2 people, 2 dogs. The third one we don't want to have anybody left out. So
Yeah, no, that's very true. How old are your dogs?
5 and 7.
There you go.
Okay.
And they're both imports from Montana.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
One was found at the Humane Society. In the dead of winter, somebody
Wow.
put her in the mailbox.
What?
Yeah. And the other one was a gift from my daughter because my dog had passed away. And my daughter was a vet tech. And she had delivered this litter of puppies a few days before, or a few weeks before. And the owner said that she didn't want to be breeding labs anymore. And so she was selling them. And we brought 2 back. One was intended to be a service dog in training, and then one was mine.
That's so cute.
Right, exactly. Let me ask you this. So you have 13 beds, right?
Yes.
And they're all full, correct?
Yes.
Do they have any animals with them?
I
Do
had
they
this
have their
question
pets?
too. Drew, we're mind melding.
Yeah, we are. We
I
are.
think we currently have 2 service dogs.
Right,
We're down from our normally we have a lot more. We encourage them.
right.
Yeah.
So if we have a veteran in our program who sees the value in having a service dog and wants service dogs are a 24, all dogs are 24 hours, but service dog is with you 24 hours a day.
That's right, right.
So there's an even bigger commitment. And if a veteran is interested in having that kind of commitment, then we work to get them
A service
connected with somebody to get them a service dog.
Good. So Suave will become a service dog effective immediately, and you'll be training Suave even though you're going on a trip on this. But, in all seriousness, we talk about this. I might have mentioned his name before, Deacon Jim Vargas at Father Joe's Villages. They have a program that we know what the homeless living on the streets or whatever, their animals are really important to them, to say the least.
Absolutely.
And really well taken care of. We've learned from several organizations.
I think, I'm sure we'll ask Gary this question.
Yeah.
The CEO of the Humane Society, they go and check on the dogs and make sure the dogs are fed and all that business without question. Listen, the challenges, of course, are huge. There's just not enough beds in San Diego County.
There's not.
And, obviously, if you look in the paper every month, we are now continuing to have the highest growth in terms of expense for the homes. The house, it's unbelievable. Who knows when that's gonna stop in this area? But if you were to wave a magic wand, is it about money to open up these new places for homes, or the money won't even buy this?
Land and money.
Right.
I have donors who are interested in helping us, but
Okay.
I have to have the land.
Okay.
And I've had conversations with the city of San Marcos about some possibilities.
Right.
So right now we're in conversation, but I would love for somebody who San Marcos is really a great spot for us because it's in the middle of the 78. We're only a train ride away from pretty much all the community colleges, the vet center, the VA hospital up in Oceanside. So it's really a great opportunity for us to be in that area. And if someone up there has land and would love to donate it
Right.
to a charity, we would be in.
All right.
Love
so
to have it.
Drew, as Kristen knows, Brandon is just starting to learn this, is never short of imbecilic ideas. Okay. That's
true.
So I'm going to throw another one out over
Okay.
here. Right. So you're not too far from Camp Pendleton, So here's Camp Pendleton. They've got a ton of land, and yes, we know they're doing their drills on it. We understand why they're there, and that's so important to our national security. But they have so much space. You're dealing with veterans. You're dealing with the military. Could they not find a plot of land in Camp Pendleton?
Well, the hard part with being on Camp Pendleton is if they're doing bombing maneuvers, how quickly am I going to send a veteran back to Iraq or Afghanistan?
No, I understand. But there's got to be a spot on that humongous area.
That's quiet?
I don't know
about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
They shake my house, and I live in Vista.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Do they? Yeah.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
They rattle my house quite often.
Interesting. Okay. We live right by Miramar, so we get those every once in a while when those fly over. Okay, so we're not going to get that one.
Yeah, you're not going to do that today.
No,
but,
However,
yes.
there is no shortage of opportunities, I'm sure, on that base for housing in general.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
mean, we have a lot of veterans who don't necessarily need housing because they're homeless, but they need affordable housing.
Right.
All right. So then it wasn't that dumb of an idea, was
No,
it?
About
I think
50-50.
affordable housing, if we've got veterans and their families who just simply are just struggling to live in our community, why not?
Why not? I agree. So, Brandon, if you can get on this and call the Major General in charge of,
Just put him. He's on your speed dial.
We'll
Yeah.
We can make
Got
that
him on
happen.
the got him on the ringer right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
He's
Nice.
calling me right now.
Nice.
Right. Mia, what can we do to our listeners to support your efforts?
Well, it's like any charity, of course, cash is always helpful.
Sure.
And we're actively looking for board members who love our mission and want to help us grow and continue to move forward. We have an Amazon wish list that some people don't feel confident in donating money, but they'd like to donate, stuff.
Sure.
We have food on Amazon. We have household items on Amazon. We also have a Target wish list that has a lot of household items on there. And for every dollar we don't have to spend on those items, it's another dollar we can put toward other things. So we always appreciate those types of donations. And we have a golf tournament coming up at the links at the Lake House, which is Lake San Marcos. And that is on September 16th. And we have room for golfers. And we still have sponsorship opportunities available. And they can check out our website at woundedwarriorhomes.org.
That's September what day?
16th. It's a Monday.
So let's do this. Let's have you come back on maybe about a month before the tournament, okay?
Okay.
Can't guarantee there'll be a puppy in your hand like there is right now, but we'll have it.
Shame.
We put the bar up way too high on this. But in all seriousness, and not to break any type of privacy laws or whatever, would love to have you bring in someone that has benefited from what you folks have done, if they're comfortable. Okay, we're talking about it.
Yeah, sometimes we have veterans that are comfortable. I can always check and ask and see if someone will be willing to come with me.
Let's plan on that, because we always love to have people that have benefited from the great work you've done. Mia, it's always good seeing you. Thank you for just absolutely the life-changing work that you do and your husband does in that aspect of it, and we'll look forward to having you back on in August.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I want to thank the community for their support. We're not here without you.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. Mia Roseberry, she's the executive director and co-founder of Wounded Warrior Homes. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for more than 60 years, doing great things for us folk living in San Diego County. Thank you very much, Brandon Joe, producer of Spotlight, for your always great insight. And my co-hosts in September, Kristen Fogel. She is the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. Thank you again to Gary Weitzman and Nina Thompson for letting us broadcast here at the San Diego Humane Society. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.